Thank hello. Thank hello. Thank hello. Thank hello.
Thank you all. General, thank you very much. It's an honor to be with you. Promise me I'll never have to give a political speech. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly stock market declines. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil military and federal workers. The Commander-in-Chief stopped by to say hello. I brought out the A-team. I implemented our government's emergency response plans for strangers and neighbors who came to give blood and rape. And I know you're proud to call it recession, huge structures collapsing, terrible sadness, and a quiet, an opportunity in the world. These acts of mass murder to defend a great nation. These acts shattered steel, but they have failed. We're the brightest beacon for freedom, unyielding anger. That can come when the Iraqis are more secure. We'll keep that light from shining. With the caring of fires burning, dripping acid on the skin, paving the way for the political reconciliation. A great people has lost, improving security throughout Iraq. Because of your bravery and sacrifice, today our nation saw evil, the very worst of human nature. We'll be open for business tomorrow. Spoken through the ages in Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. None of us will ever forget this day. Yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Thank you. Good night. And God bless America.
Coming up next. But you know, marijuana is the central banker of international terrorism.
You have to obey.
Because it's the hand-holding, it's the hugging, that in the singing that men don't really kind of feel comfortable with.
I personally do not think
this is a travesty of injustice.
We're fighting.
And you're not going to have checks and balances.
Wrongly accused.
The far left.
Killing, lying, adultery, thievery, envy.
In a chain of Michael Vick dog grooming salons.
You know, aren't liberals or far left people supposed to be
Saddam's illegal weapons program.
You think this is all going to hurt?
Just to win the House in November.
And I think he should ignore the Supreme Court ruling.
Not just in reducing crime, violence, corruption, disease.
It's almost like he's mammy.
In the ghetto.
No, that doesn't bother me.
Does that bother you?
Don't they have lives of their own to be worried about?
Nobody listens to these people.
They need us. They better hope the United States doesn't roll over one night and crush them.
And seeing those videos of people being decapitated.
My good friend Ethan suggests perhaps we should treat methamphetamine like alcohol.
Investing is in defeat.
here is the life raft, but you're going to drown.
People committing strange acts.
Then you sit back as a politician.
However, we can confirm that Mr. Jackson forced the boy.
We should have bombed somebody.
Babes with their bikinis.
That's not what actually happens.
Murray points out
their failure to do any effective policing.
Homeless alcoholics.
Actively involved in killing U.S. soldiers and civilians.
And yet it's legal and prescribable.
And some of the crackheads are so well recognized.
Boy, 1 million people are dead in Iraq.
You did not do your homework.
Beer and Jesus thing.
Selling merchandise like you are.
It's just a parade of propaganda. Shocking video, crack addicts
with weapons of mass destruction.
She had a boring life. She was a child of privilege. All of a sudden, she's in with a bunch of charismatic thugs.
Hey, damn, folks out to get it. Hey.
What is Fox News? Can I just ask you a question?
You're living in the land of Oz, Congressman.
Crackheads going wild,
but because not all,
right.
But most of them lack more character.
And the crackheads are now starving.
He says despite the U.S. jailing more people on drug charges than Western Europe jails on all charges.
It's just a festival of ignorance.
It is our duty as loyal Americans to shut up.
Again.
In the greatest city in the world.
Some ideologues are simply out of control.
And having to do with women's
terrorism. There's a war in this country.
Calculated marketing. Women's with abortion. I mean,
far-left radio broadcasts.
It would be better if we were all Christian.
Terrorists.
Just so people but ours is more like Federal Express.
Some ideologues are simply out of control.
People just tuning in right now and going, wait a second, what about this
curse?
Conducting a war
can be more effective than prohibition.
The human obsession
with celebrities.
It suggests the plants may actually be part of the problem.
Inconvenience people.
The United States. You want to work on the Fox News.
You are not following the rules of war.
None of your business.
We expect every American to support our military, and if they can't do that, to shut up.
We apologize to our viewers.